Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, we are going to be doing my review of the match between the Chiefs and the Hurricanes that has just finished. My voice is once again almost gone. This was a very close match. As you can see, the end score 26 to the Chiefs, 24 to the Hurricanes. Last minute penalty got Damian McKenzie the win for his side 2 weeks in a row now. And the Chiefs are now sitting on 20 points, 3 points behind the Crusaders. My brain is scrambled at the moment thinking about what is going to be happening in that match next week between the Chiefs and the Blues. That one is going to almost decide who is going to be moving through to that Super Rugby Aotearoa final, unless, of course, the Blues get the win over the Crusaders. We have got in the chat Mike Jones Sr. Hey, mate, I'm finally back. D-Magic strikes again. Hashtag Chiefs Mana. 5 in a row for them now, the Chiefs. And that is just incredibly insane how well they have been able to do that. 5 in a row is something that I don't think many people saw happening for them. And now they are on that winning streak, and that could take them all the way to maybe a Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021 trophy, depending on how this goes. We have got James Gordon in the chat, has sets up as well. Welcome to the live stream, mate. But nonetheless, I will run through the try scorers in this match. The pace that the Hurricanes started this match at was just insane. And it showed because of the fact that they were able to score in the very first minute before 1 minute was up. That was James Blackwell who was able to get the first try of the match. And after that, the Hurricanes, they had a couple penalty opportunities, but they decided that they would be kicking for the corner and also taking the quick tap. They wanted to be able to score a lot of points in a hurry early on in this match. But unfortunately for them, that try of James Blackwell was about where it ended almost for them in the end, other than a very late penalty in the first half that Geordie Barrett was able to get over from 50-something meters. Like, that man can kick it from anywhere pretty much. We have also got hashtag lest we forget, of course, Anzac Day. They did have the moment silence before the game. I was going to start my live stream it was 7 o'clock, but then they had the silence, so I thought I should be waiting until a little bit after that. But yeah, a good game of rugby to watch between these two sides. And we have got Jaden in the chat, has said hello, welcome to the live stream, mate. And also Unlucky Canes from CTJ's Trick Shots. And Cool as has said not one win last year. Exactly right. They ended up 8 losses in a row in last year's Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. They started this Super Rugby Aotearoa competition with a couple losses as well. And then since then, 5 on the dot, I guess you could say, 5 in a row. And because of it, now they are sitting in second comfortably. And like I said, it is going to be the case of whether or not the Blues win the game against the Crusaders. Because if they don't win the game against the Crusaders and don't get a bonus point for being within 7, the Chiefs are in the final up against the Crusaders, and that would be a very exciting one to watch as well. We have got now 5 clutch wins in a row, says Cool as. And yeah, Damian McKenzie, when that last penalty was given, you could see him kind of close his eyes as if to say, not again, but he was able to nail it, and that's exactly what he did. We have got George Washington in the chat as well, headsets up. Welcome to the live stream, mate. And then Johnny Blaze has said, cheer, bro, the game was mean. I'm at Hamilton Night Market right now, going to buy a feed. The Waikato Stadium's $5.80 scoop of chips is too expensive for me. That is a very high price. And also see you tomorrow, mate. I'll join the streams. Cheers, chat, and Hamish as well. But thank you very much for tuning in briefly there, Johnny Blaze. Hope you did enjoy the game as well. The atmosphere at these games at FMG Stadium lately, they'll just be crazy because of the fact 2 wins in a row in the final moments of games. But yeah, from that first try of James Blackwell, then it was the try of Peter Gus Sawakula, and he looked sharp throughout the early stages of this match, purely because of the fact he was coming in for Luke Jacobson, who was injured because of a concussion. And Peter Gus Sawakula, off the back of a scrum or anything like that, he is one of those guys that you got to back 9 times out of 10. It was, I believe, Luke Campbell who tried to stop him, but he just kind of slid around him and was able to drive over. That was in the 30th minute. And also Damian McKenzie was able to get a penalty in about the 15th. So we went into halftime in this match 10-all. And it just had that feeling that you knew it was going to be a very close second half. And yeah, it's exactly what it was. And we have also got Mike Jones Sr. has said, who's getting the home final? And I guess that's a very good question because of the fact that I guess if the Blues win against the Crusaders, and then it would be almost the winner of that match would get to determine who gets the home final, because of the fact that, yeah, at this stage, it's a very close competition. Although I would say at this stage, it looks like the Crusaders or the Chiefs will get it. I think that extra point that the Blues are behind might be a little bit too much for them to be able to catch up and get a home final. Love the jersey, brother, as well, says Cool as. Yeah, it was sent to me by one of you guys, so I have worn it and 5 wins in a row with the kit on. I feel like if it is the final, might have to put it on again, and maybe the Chiefs will be able to go all the way. Who's going to, we have also got in the chat, George Meyer is there as well. But yeah, then the next try of this match, the second half started at a pretty fast pace, just like the first. It was Damian McKenzie, who looked like he was setting up quite a lot in the first half. Then it was Bryn Gatlin who kind of took over. In that number 10 jersey, he had one off the back of a line-out, little chip in behind, then another chip, and then he was almost able to get that one. That left them about 5 meters out because it was an offside call against one of the Hurricanes players. I believe it might have been Numia, if I'm not wrong. And then he did also go off the field for the blood bin. But then from there, off the scrum, once again, it was Brad Weber went to Bryn Gatlin, ran straight up the middle and scored the try in the 48th. But then Billy Proctor for the Hurricanes did almost an identical kind of run, and he ran through the gap, put it down. And this game just kept on getting closer and closer as we moved further towards the end of the match. And then Asafa Mua able to score the try in the 68th. That got the Hurricanes a 1-point lead. But it wasn't enough because, of course, going down to the wire in these games, Damian McKenzie slots it over in the 82nd minute and is able to win it. We have also got, who do you think will win Super Rugby NZ? I got to say 5 in a row. It's hard not to back the Chiefs at this stage. They seem to have that little bit of extra determination in those last moments of games. And this is what's getting them the win. Their discipline in those later stages. They win a penalty for themselves and then the other team gives away a penalty and then they do end up winning the game. So it's one of those ones that, it's one of those ones that it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they will be able to do that in the final as well if they do get there. And we have got from how NZ Rugby is being distributed, every game is unexpected as well, said Mike Jones Sr. and did Willie Wonka arrive? He didn't actually during the chat, but yeah, that's the thing. All of these games going into it, like it's very hard to have a favourite and an underdog because you know that both of them are going to be putting in 110%, and that is exactly what my voice is almost gone as well. That is exactly what happened in those early stages of the match with the Hurricanes. They were coming out firing because they knew that if they wanted to get this win, they had to strike first and strike often, and they just weren't quite able to do that. Mate, if Chiefs make the final, Bearsies at yours as well, says Cool as well. And I don't know how people would feel about that. I live closer to the Crusaders, so if I was having a beers party for the Chiefs, who are the North Island team in that final, don't know how that would go in the land of Canterbury. We have also got, guys, go ahead and check out Kiwi Lads Gaming. Watch me and Hamish play online games. Cheeky plug. But yeah, that is the new gaming channel for the Kiwi Lads Gaming. And we have also got my score prediction was 26-17. Got the right score for the Chiefs, but a try less for the Canes as well. Yeah, we have 5 tries in this match. And I feel like looking at the previous encounters, like they had 9 in the first time these two sides played. So I think everyone thought it was going to be a relatively high one as well. We have got, I'm getting LeBron's shoes from James Gordon, which is pretty awesome. But now we are going to be moving into the statistics of this match to see exactly what was happening throughout it. But yeah, tell you what, that first try of James Blackwell just looks amazing on the timeline. It's almost before the match even started, but 3 tries for the Hurricanes, 2 for the Chiefs. The Hurricanes had less meters carried, less carries, less defenders beaten, less clean breaks, less passes, more offloads. And so it's one of those ones they almost, looking at those, you'd say that maybe they weren't quite going to be able to win this game. And that's kind of what happened. They needed maybe one more try or something along the line or another penalty to just kind of help them out a little bit more. But tackles, 118 made by the Chiefs, 116 made by the Hurricanes. So an extremely close game in terms of the defense. And the defenses, they were working very well, other than a couple gaps that led to the tries. Like it was one of those ones, you look like they were just going to be hidden up all day, every day, and they just weren't going to be able to get through. Like there weren't really opportunities that often for the backs to be able to find the gaps. We have also got idea, God, he's a can tap. It's also cool as only by region. I go for all of the Super Rugby Aotearoa game, or Aotearoa teams, I should say. I am not completely biased in that regard. We have got 15 penalties in this match, which is probably almost the lowest number for a Super Rugby Aotearoa game, but the possession slightly in the Hurricanes' favour as well. But now I am going to be doing what we did last time, and that is I am going to be asking you guys, who do you think made the most tackles in this match for the Chiefs, and who do you think made the most tackles for the Hurricanes, without looking it up, of course. And while that one is happening, I will Also, or while you guys are putting in your answers, I will read through some of the meters carried and whatnot. Now, these won't be completely accurate because we are still very recent after the game, but they will give us a little bit of an idea. Tenana Satoro, 88 meters carried, the most for the Chiefs, and he beat 7 defenders, so that will add to his tally of already having 26. So that might almost take him up to the most in the competition. We have also got old good brother from Cool as well. And then Jonah Lowe, 75 meters, Damian McKenzie, 71. So those are the big numbers for the Chiefs. For the Hurricanes, Geordie Barrett, 128 meters carried and 14 carries, 4 defenders beaten, and 1 clean break as well. Looking very sharp and having more than double any other player for the Hurricanes. Salise Rayasi was the one in second. That was 56 meters, and he did beat 3 defenders as well. But now we are looking almost at the tackles right. I have got who had the most tackles for the Chiefs, and I have got who made the most tackles for the Hurricanes. So what do you guys think? Who do you think was the busiest boy? I can say who had the most turnovers, 1. While we are at it, Tupavai, 2 for his side. Nata Koi got 1 as well. Boshier and Brown also got 1 each. And it's one of those ones, I mentioned it when there were 2 minutes left. The Hurricanes looked like they were just going to keep on hitting it up with the forwards. And I almost said it, and I was going to say that I don't think you can get away with hitting it up against the Chiefs because they are just that good at ripping the ball away in the breakdown. Have a good night, my man Cheer, said Cool as well. No worries, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it a lot. But yeah, it's one of those ones they couldn't afford to go to the breakdown because it was just getting stolen every day. Luke Campbell had 2 turnovers, 1, and Karefi had 2 as well. But nonetheless, I will read the tackles. So the tackles, Lachlan Boshier had 14 for the Chiefs. Mitchell Brown had 13. So they were the 2 highest for the Chiefs. And then Duplessis Karefi had 12 and Reed Prinsep had 10. But that is the stats on the match. No yellow cards in this one, which was probably pretty lucky for, I believe it was the Chiefs. Nathan Harris for being offside almost could have ended up with 1 late in the match. But yeah, the captain's challenge of the Hurricanes also was unsuccessful. But there was a moment at the end of the game where they did have the scrum, and the Chiefs, they were saying maybe they should have taken the captain's challenge to see if, rather than the knock-on, it was for offside. But they decided not to use it, and it did work out for them. In the end, we have got my brother's girlfriend came. They left today, says Henry Samuel as well. But yeah, Duplessis Karefi, I think, almost would move into first place in terms of the most tackles made in the Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. Of course, Cody Taylor, he is the man in first, and he will be playing on Sunday afternoon for the Crusaders against the Blues. And then from their next round, it is going to be the Hurricanes versus the Highlanders. So that game at this stage is more just for pride because of the fact that both of them can't quite make it into the final. And last time those 2 sides played for the final round of Super Rugby Aotearoa, it was in Dunedin that the game was taking place, and it was a phenomenal game of rugby. We had crazy numbers, talking meters carried. I think both sides had about 600 meters carried. Also, just a whole heap of clean breaks, defenders beaten. It was a attacking spectacle, so maybe we'll get that again. But then also the last game is going to be the Chiefs versus the Blues, and that one's the big one. But nonetheless, I think that's almost going to be the end of this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are going to be back with the game on Sunday between the Blues and the Crusaders, which is going to be played at Orange Theory Stadium, 3:35 p.m. kickoff. My brain's not working at the moment. I feel like I did too much talking in terms of talking too quick, and now my brain's like, not happening. But nonetheless, I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and I hope you did enjoy.